then you initiate a discharge petition and to force a vote on this. And what was the response you got from the White House?
So I actually had at least a dozen co-sponsors on my Epstein Files Transparency Act. And I thought, well, I'll get a dozen Republican co-sponsors. I thought, well, this will be easy. I've already got a dozen who will sign the discharge petition. Well, it turns out most of those people chickened out, would not sign the discharge petition under pressure from the president. In fact, I ran into the legislative affairs director for the White House on the street on Independence Avenue, Jeff Freeland, just randomly, while I was trying to get more signatures and while he was trying to keep people from signing it, we just randomly met at a crosswalk. And I said, listen, I know you're just doing your job, and I'll be with you 90% of the time. But in this instance, I'm compelled to do this. And I said, and by the way, I made a mistake. I got co-sponsors on this bill. So now you got your whip list. I know you're going to the 12 people who originally co-sponsored it. If I ever do this again, I'm not getting co-sponsors and showing you my roadmap. And there was mutual respect there as two people working on two different things. He said to me, you're moving too fast for me. Like he couldn't keep up. There was only one of him. And I was moving around and getting people to put their names on it and getting people not to take their names off. By the way, I have to give credit to the three bravest. There's nobody, if I go back to Congress next week and somebody comes up to me and says, I saw you on Tucker Carlson and you didn't say I was brave, I'll say too bad, because you weren't. There's three women, Nancy Mace, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Lauren Boebert, who signed their names on that discharge petition and all suffered. Marjorie practically gave up her political career over this.
Yes, she did.
She and her children got death threats over this. Not from the left, from the right. And
she went to President Trump and said, one of my children is getting death threats. And he said, that's your fault.
Yeah, despicable. He also told her that if she insisted on following through with this, she was going to hurt his friends. She told me the day he told her that.
Hurt whose friends?
The President Trump's friends, his friends. And I suppose some of them have been hurt. Howard Lutnick was shown to be a bald-faced liar, right? Yeah. And